pleased to have Aaron, so let's welcome him today.
Thank you, Greg. I'd like to thank everybody for having me today. Thank you all for your hospitality. The meal was great. Appreciate the invite and just a chance to share who I am, meet some of you guys. Met some of you in the room already. Looking forward to meeting the rest of you. A little bit about myself before I talk about the high school. I'm coming from Fayette. Grew up in Fayette. Went to school at Fayette, and then taught there for 11 years. And then finally at the end of the 11th year, I said it's time to move on. But no, I finished my admin degree and was looking for different schools of where to apply to, and applied at Hicksville, and it worked out. So, but coming from Fayette, like I said, graduated from there, went to school there. I did my undergrad at the University of Toledo, and then I got my master's degree at the University of Findlay. That was all online. Findlay's nice school though. Learned a lot there, and looking at taking some more classes there as well, but that's for the future. Did several things at Fayette. I started out as a Title I teacher, which is essentially part of the special ed department, and then finally got a job in what I went to school for, which was high school social studies. Taught American history, American government, really enjoyed that, but knew I wanted to get into administration, so my last 2 years at Fayette, I was the athletic director and the head of our virtual school. Got a lot of experience there, and I feel like gave me a little bit of a leg up when I went to apply for some principal jobs. Keith and the committee took a chance on me and hired me as the middle school principal back in May. So that was the plan, to be the middle school principal. We knew that Mr. Slattery was leaving, but I don't think we really knew what the plan was at that time, you know, how we were going to fill that interim, whatnot, how Mr. Countryman was going to post that position, but he approached the admin team, and it was brought up who would be interested, and I said I would. So thankful for Keith's faith that he has in me, because Hicksville has been a great fit for me, I do believe. So this is my third week, starting my third week as high school principal. So I feel like the new guy again for the second time this school year, but like I said, Hicksville does feel like home. Keith asked me that the day that he asked if I would be interested in the high school principal position. I don't know if you remember this conversation. And I said yes, and he said, well, tell me why you like Hicksville. So I shared a little bit, and his next question was, so when are you going to move here? So that is the plan. I'm still commuting from Fayette, but just temporarily. I do plan on moving closer here this year, so I know a couple of realtors in the room that can probably help me with that.
Yeah.
But I know I have some big shoes to fill here at Hicksville. Mr. Slattery was a great principal, set a great example for our students, our staff as well. And I learned a lot from him in my short time as middle school principal, always in his office asking for advice. With this being my first year as a principal, I really took advantage of someone who's right next door that has several years of experience. So under Mr. Slattery's leadership, Hicksville has done some pretty awesome things, has accomplished some great things. You may or may not know, but just recently we were 13th in the state on our district report card. Really, we're kind of like second because we were tied for second amongst other schools. 12 schools tied for first. We were one of a group that tied for second. They go by stars now. We got 24 out of 25 stars is a way to sum it up. But I'm looking to any possible way to continue that. We have some great things in place that we've instituted for our students, for our teachers. I'm looking to continue those things. Obviously, it's hard to stay at the top when you're up there, but we're looking for any way that we can possibly improve. You know, what's one area that we could get that extra star? But that takes, you know, all of us as our admin team working together. We do have a great team there, and that's something that I shared with Keith. That's why I really like Hicksville. There's not a single person on our team that I don't feel is doing what's best for kids. And that's kind of become a slogan of mine. Also got that from Mr. Countryman and Mr. Slattery when I interviewed back in May. They both said, here at Hicksville we do what's best for kids. And that has stuck with me since then, and I've started to push that onto my staff as well. every decision that we make is going to be what's best for kids. And I feel like, you know, Hicksville does things a little different. Hicksville stands out in the area. I was sharing with Greg, you know, when I got this job, even though Fayette's a distance away, a couple counties away, Hicksville does still stand out in Northwest Ohio, because predominantly what people tell me is that is a nice district. That's a really good district. So people hear things, people know about the nice facility we have, those things stick in people's minds, and I want to keep it that way and actually, you know, take us that next step forward. So we have a lot of exciting things happening at the school. One of those things is our STEAM program. We are really growing with Mr. Farrell. He's put a lot of effort into it. We've converted the old bus barn into the STEAM barn now. He gave a little presentation on that at our December board meeting. And we are looking for some different opportunities that we can offer through that. So we're actually exploring those right now. And what we're looking for is to make partnerships with area businesses. We want to expand opportunities for students that they could get out into the workforce while still in high school. Working very closely with our high school guidance counselor, Mrs. Wyman, we're looking to make those things happen very soon. So I'm excited for that because I think that could be our next new little initiative in the high school. And again, it's what's best for kids, right? So I'm gonna keep going back to that during my time as principal, which I plan on being quite a long time. No plans on leaving anytime soon. But that's something that I'm excited for because again, it's gonna get our kids out working in this community. Several area businesses that desperately need good quality workers, and I think we can help fill that need while also offering a great quality education here at Hicksville for our kids, you know, and just doing what's best for them here in Hicksville. Again, just planning on keeping the same rigor, the same high expectations that Hicksville is known for. I'm excited to step into this position because I feel like it is a very respected position in this community. I know that the community has a great deal of, or supports the school a great deal. I'm looking forward to learning more about your guys' organization. A couple people this morning have said, let us know how we can help you. Well, I don't quite know yet because I would like to learn more about your organization. Still being new, there's several things that I need to learn, so I hope I could answer that question soon, but not necessarily today. So, quick synopsis of myself. I guess if you have any questions for me, I'd be glad to take them. Yes?
Could you explain a little bit more about that STEAM program, maybe a little bit of what's the purpose, maybe why it's starting, some things about it. Some in here may or may not be aware, bumped up against a little bit, but it's a pretty unique program, and another way I think that Hicksville's doing a good job of trying to help as many students as they can.
Yep, so several area schools are creating STEAM programs, and they have in the past few years. It's been a big push at the state level. I would say that Hicksville is doing it better than others. We have a great teacher, Mr. Farrell, who is so dedicated to that program. So STEAM involves science, technology, math, several different concepts all combined together to where Mr. Farrell could have a wood shop going, like some wood projects, carpentry projects going on right next to robotics programs. It's really a way for students to express themselves, to find a project that fits their interests. And again, I can't say enough about Mr. Farrell because he is so well educated on so many different areas. He is probably the best person to be leading that program because of all the different things it encompasses. He has such a wide range of knowledge. Computer coding is a part of it. So several different things, practical things that students might need, you know, in their lives, but also new and emerging fields like the computer coding, things that are going to give our kids a leg up in different careers. But then a part of that is helping those students to find work opportunities. Currently, he's I don't know if I want to call it piloting, but he's doing an internship program with some of our high school students to where they're going out and getting a little bit of experience in area businesses, doing something that they like. I guess think of it as our way to kind of expand on that. We really want to get them involved in a career field that they find enjoyable, that they want, High school is a great time to explore those opportunities, find out what it is they like, and that STEAM program really is a great opportunity for that. That space is amazing. Mr. Countryman and the board made that a priority to open that up to him, and pass fire inspection, so we're all good to go. We're a little nervous about that, but it is a functioning classroom that just has a little bit of everything. Like I said, robotics, carpentry, metalwork. There's hydroponic stations out there where they're going to grow plants. So all different kinds of things. I know he would be open to anyone coming out there and giving them a tour at any time. So if anyone's interested, please do that. Can't say enough about it, but we're really just kind of exploring all the different opportunities. There's just so many different things we can do with it. And I can say that these last couple weeks have been just endless conversations between myself, Mrs. Wyman, our counselor, Mr. Farrell, and others. So.
We recognize that not everybody's interested in going to college, so this gives them an option to explore other ideas. Perhaps they don't want to go to Fort County, for example, or there's other programs that they'd like to go into, and if we can offer the same types of things, then we can keep them right here.
Yeah.
And so it just gives them some more options for them.
Thank you for sharing that. Yeah, for sure, more options for our students. But I would say it's also good for all students. You know, we have several college-bound students that are out there excelling in Mr. Farrell's class as well. One of our students is going to school to be a teacher, but he's enjoying making wood projects and things like that out there. So it really is a place for students to just kind of, like I said, express themselves and find something that they enjoy doing. So it's cool that we can offer that within our building.
Even have kind of some, I mean, do they even have some maybe input into what they might want to, their interest is, and then they kind of tailor it with them a little bit?
Yes, absolutely. Something Mr. Farrell does is he journals with the students. So it starts out, and the whole goal is to find out what is your interest, what are you good at, what would you like to explore. So yeah, that's a top priority for him. Any other questions?
I was just saying, it's kind of back in my day, it was like industrial arts to a degree, and woodworking and metals, and we did a lot of different things, but at a higher level with technology and computer-driven jobs and stuff. But I think it's a great program.
I think, Mike, as it continues to grow, you might see it go more in that direction also, that we need to, you know, like Mr. Hylander said, we're kind of exploring options and seeing what student interest is.
And I'll admit, I don't know all the possibilities yet. I mean, industrial arts, that's a good way to put it, because there is a lot of that. I'm coming from a school that has had a big ag program, a lot of connections to that as well with things that he's doing in that class. So it's really drawing on so many different things. I had someone share with me that he's touching on a topic that is being covered in one of our science classes right now, which is awesome, cross-curricular. So I mean, there's just, I don't even know all the possibilities yet.
I don't know, I thought I heard this from somebody, but you got a state standardized testing, right, that goes through each grade level that they have to pass. But you're having so many kids with special needs anymore that you have to change your programming and your classroom structure to accommodate some of the students that are falling behind, and to move them up to a higher level. Is the state looking at changing somehow they can be tested at a different level than what, you know, to me it's like politics getting involved in government.
The state has no idea what the hell's going on.
Well, that's what I meant.
Yeah, you can put that
Does
on
that make
camera. They're always changing stuff, Mike. The state is always changing stuff. And the frustrating part about it is that the people that are down there making those changes aren't involved in education.
Absolutely.
You know, talk to the people that are living it every day and ask us what direction it should be. We're not opposed to testing and accountability, you know, to make sure that we're covering what needs to be covered. But sometimes they dream up some of the craziest stuff down there and say, you're going to do this, and then we do it, and then 2 years later, it's like, well, that didn't work. Like, well, we could have told you that. You know? They do it, they mandate it, we have to do it.
And I get what you're saying, and actually, sadly to say, it's actually the opposite of what they're doing right now. So we have great teachers at Hicksville, great special ed teachers that are, I was going to say, very creative. And how can we offer courses? How can we best meet the needs of these kids? Now with that, traditionally you've been able to exempt students who are on IEPs from state tests. Well, we've recently found out that within a year or two, the state is going to start dinging you for doing that. You can kind of exempt them if they don't meet the competency score on math and ELA. Well, now we found out that, well, can't tell you exactly yet how many, but if you exempt too many, then we're going to ding you on your report card for that. So it's one of those things, you know, you take what they give you and you try to work with it. That's going to require us to be a little creative with some of our course offerings. You know, we feel and we know that we're educating these students to the best of our abilities here at Hicksville. They're getting a great education here. But then the state throws that at you, and then you might get dinged on the report card, and it's going to look like, oh, well, now you failed. You guys didn't do as well last year. Well, that's not the case.
Right.
So,
You do a great job. Thank you.
any other questions?
Yeah, I'm kind of involved in our Hispanic community throughout Hicksville too, and I know some of the kids come in with limited English, and I know it's gotta be a struggle for you guys to, maybe not so much in the high school, but definitely at the middle school range. How are you guys handling that?
We have a great ESL teacher, Mrs. Saunders, who has been amazing. I believe this is her first year solely in that position. I believe the district saw that as a need, so that was before me. I know she worked in ESL prior, but now she is solely in an ESL classroom, or ELL, sorry, it's ELL now. Used to be called ESL. But she is a great support for those students and the families. We just enrolled a couple non-English speaking students last week, and we relied heavily on Mrs. Saunders to help translate for us. Myself and Mrs. Kaufman, the elementary principal, we were working with this family. She was translating with us, and it's just, you got to find out what their needs are. You know, we found out that we needed to go show them where their bus stop was. So we all got in the vehicle on Friday and we drove down to their bus stop, where their morning stop's going to be, where their afternoon stop's going to be. But Mrs. Saunders coordinated all of that for us. So she's been a godsend, I believe, for that with our numbers of ELL students in this community, and we rely heavily on her.
And I have a question.
Yeah.
It may be outside your jurisdiction, but I hear other school systems are having trouble getting sufficient levels of substitute teachers, cafeteria workers, bus drivers, essentially support staff. How are we established out here?
We're struggling. We are struggling, as is every district. Substitute teachers is not good. We're relying heavily on a list that comes from the Northwest Ohio ESC, Educational Service Center, as is every other district. So I would encourage, if you know anyone that would be a good substitute teacher, a good responsible adult, send them our way. You don't have to have a 4-year degree anymore. We can approve you as a sub. We are struggling, as every other job field.
I might add on that, yeah, Aaron said, you don't need a 4-year degree anymore. That's true. So anybody can come in. If you graduated high school, anybody could come in and substitute. However, if they aren't any good, they don't come back. So
I was gonna say, we are Hicksville. We
We're
like to
picky.
be choosy. We'll be choosy.
yeah,
So,
we're picky.
yeah, which is a good thing.
Yeah.
So, we want to get that word out there that we're looking for good, quality, responsible adults that can be a good influence on our students.
For example, say this too. I want to say anything I shouldn't. Somebody was walking in school one day. We always stand outside pretty much and greet kids every day. And somebody was coming in with the strangest pants I've ever seen in my life, and hair the color of those flowers. And I'm like, what parent is that? And so after school got started, I went and checked. Well, it was one of our subs. So, we made it clear that we don't allow that color hair in our building, and that if you want to sub here anymore, you'll have to change your hair color. So, she's not coming back. We're picky.
Yep.
We're picky who we're going to put in front of our kids. And there's certainly people that have just a high school degree that have come in and sub for us and doing a great job. They really do. And an awesome thing, too, is that the neighbor right next door, our teachers are so helpful with those subs to help get them by. So, the teachers recognize our shortage. And yeah, we're short bus drivers, too. So if anybody has any interest in that, I'm driving this afternoon, you could ride with me, because there's no one else, so.
Absolutely.
I gotta see.
You know, we're also looking at, and it's been brought up in admin meetings, but I think we're gonna have to get more creative, get out there more in hiring teachers as well when we have openings, which thankfully we don't have openings that often. But you know, people are struggling to find teachers, and we want the best of the best at Hicksville. So I'm trying to think of different ways, attending job fairs, maybe going a little bit farther out and getting the word out about Hicksville and what we have to offer. So might get a little bit more creative there as well.
Thank you. All right.
All right,
We're
I think
good.
it's about 1 o'clock.
Very good, thank you.
Thank you guys.